These are all plants that get really, really tall. So we've grouped them because we'll need taller risers just to water one of them. So why not put them right next to each other? And I subscribe to the notion that you want your corn footprint to be chonky, right? You don't want it long and skinny. You want it as close to a square as you can get it. And so we've got these shorter beds of corn just to group them together. And I've got some beans direct seeded in the back there. And again, that one line of extra tall risers, and I need extra tall for either beans or corn, can get both jobs done right here. We don't want a little bit of everything every week. We need to be able to move through different crops. And so you have to spend some time looking at it like, okay, I'm going to have a bed and a half of beets, and I want to harvest on the same day a bed and a half of beets, a bed and a half of bok choy, and on and on and on. Where can I put that at the farm where it'll be ready at the same time next to something that it can be next to, right? For rotational reasons, and be able to group them into little chunks that you can move around the farm. It is very tricky. And so we've had like years where we've done a bad job at it, and we just have to water one bed for a while because we just didn't think it through right, and ended up with this one bed that we need in 3 weeks and there's nothing next to it. So we've learned from a lot of mistakes, but I think, yeah, that's a winter project, the rotation.
And
Eh,
taking good notes for yourself to remind yourself, don't
yeah.
do that again.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, this is what you see is also a series of mistakes that we've made.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we really get mad at ourselves and try to remember what we would do next year. And there'll be a whole new set of those this year that we'll be making and hopefully taking good notes that we then refer to for the next.
Yeah. Yeah. We try to look really hard at the mistakes we made, not like get down on ourselves, but just, really like, um, yeah, just make sure we don't repeat it again. It's always annoying when you make the same mistake in 2 consecutive seasons. You only get so many seasons. Mark.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just pointed that out. Like, then what we'll do next year is we'll put this island right over there where that one was. We'll just move it because this is a grouping that has worked. Let's say it does. Let's say it works like it's supposed to. Then we know that that's a good chunk, and I can just switch it out with another one of my islands. And we just got to build those the right way so that we're getting as much efficiency as we can out of it. All right. We were going to talk a little bit about trellising, I think, if that's appeals. Maybe we can peek here. We've switched over to just being able to drive in really big end posts. That's a huge time saver for us, but it is hard work. It's heavy, right? The post pounder for this is a heavy tool. So we don't want any one person to have to do that too much on any given day. It's definitely kind of a, okay, here we go, let's put in the end posts sort of job. But it is very, 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 very fast. And that's something we want. We want the crew to be able to come out and start a job and finish it, cross it off the list, and do something different tomorrow. So we try really hard to build systems that can go up fast and you can move on to the next thing. So the end post, maybe is not for everyone because it does require taking a really heavy post hole pounder, reaching it up pretty high, driving it into the ground, and you can't really do that all day. Like, that would be unreasonable. We do switch it up between the crew that we have here. The little T-posts go in plenty fast, and you can see we use the PVC tees, which a lot of folks are doing, and that I think is just, everybody loves that. It's so easy to do, and it keeps us from expecting everybody on the farm to know everything there is to know about fencing. You don't have to learn all these really special skills. Like, it's good that I know them and I can use them, but I don't want to have to teach everybody all the ins and outs about all the different things if there's a way to have something that requires so little teaching. How does it work? The T-post? Oh, the T? It just holds the wire up. That's all we are asking the T to do, is hold the wire at the top of the post. And that's all it's doing.
Yeah, what we do is we'll make one, like at one end, you thread as many of them as you're going to need on at one end, and then the crew just kind of walks out down there. It looks like they're holding onto a spine, and you just position them as you go.
So a person will walk the wire down and a person follows behind and takes the last T-post and puts it on the last PVC T, puts it on, and does the next one and the next one. You guys have that, right? Yeah, it's great, right? It's highly copyable.
Please copy it. It's one of the best things we've done. You don't have to be a scout to know how to tie everything, fasten everything, work with all the little things.
It gets us
But
in and out
yeah.
really quickly on this job. Yeah,
Yes,
I
another
mean,
thing also worth pointing out is one of the first things that we do with like peas on the farm with a brand new crew. And it's a big confidence builder because the folks that are doing this year for the first time, they did that already in the spring when they first arrived. And by the time we get to beans and tomatoes and all of this, they've done it. It's old hat. They've seen it. They know what to do. And that's great. You want confidence building tasks.
what is the mesh? I should have brought some of that out, huh?
I can go get it.
Yeah.
There's a bunch.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll show you. This
School bail.
you could get at Johnny's Hortonova. I think we're getting it. I think we're just ordering on Amazon right now.
Because we ran out and needed
Yeah,
it
yeah,
fast.
yeah. It's like it can't come from Maine.
Yeah.
But this is sometimes placed horizontally to keep flowers like standing up straight so that you can use it. So trellising is all it's called, right? Net trellising. Net, jeez. Yeah, I think Hortonova is the brand name. That seems right. Yeah. Yeah. And again, that you can find all sorts of places online, but I know the Johnny C catalog has it.
And then not just
Right. So, again, shortcuts that get the job done. These are hog ring staples. We call them berry staples because that sounds way better than hog ring. But it's just a way of like making a little metal loop, soft metal loop around things. And so this is the tool of choice for trellising out here. We take the trellising up to the top, we reach it over, and we just attach it. And attach it. And it does not take long to learn this tool, and it moves fast. We can wrap the ends here, and they're teeny pieces of the softest steel you've ever seen. So they're just gone after a year of sitting in the soil. So when we go to take the trellising down, this can tear really easily. You can rip it off with gloves. You could cut it with scissors, and it'll come right down. So you don't have to tie a bunch of knots. You don't have to bring out zip ties. So we wanted to make sure that everybody got to see this because we've ended up using these all over the farm. They just have been really, really, really effective at attaching things together. Yeah, and these were used here at Terry's Berries for trellising on raspberries, bringing the twine up to the wire on raspberries to keep them in line.
And sorry, the conventional name is called what?
Hog ring staples and hog ring pliers. Yeah. And I've got them here in this bucket if you want to just take a picture or whatever. We try to have, for every kind of big important task, we have a bucket dedicated to it. And so in the bucket, this is like the trellising bucket. So what it means is I have like, 70 pairs of pliers because you need pliers in every bucket. But still, it makes it easy. People don't have to go in the shop and find each tool individually that's going to be needed. And you just make sure you got a place to put it when you're done. So this is like the putting the trellising up bucket. It has everything you're going to need for trellising that we've come in across needing, ready to go. There's our hog ring staple bucket. Okay. The other gizmo that I think everyone should see, this is like in the orchard industry. These are little cartridges that you can use to terminate the line. I did these ones here, so we'll have to walk to the old pea trellising to get a good look at them in action. But essentially, you can feed in the steel wire on one end and it won't come back the other way. So you can just get to the end, push your wire through, put the cartridge on, and that's it. You're attached and you're ready to go. And so we put the wire and the posts up, 2 people in 45 minutes before lunch. It was, yeah, maple. And so it goes really, really, really fast. If you can drive the posts in, if you could just run the wire out through the little PVC tees, if you can use these little cartridges so you don't have to tie any wire knots, and we can look at them on those posts over there. So this is the kind of nitty gritties I had in mind.
Are they reusable?
Yeah, and they are. There's a couple ways to reuse them. You can cut the wire and just push it back through, and then so you've thrown away a little scrap. Or there is a way to push the cam loose and slide it off. I've only used them for 2 seasons. I don't know how long you can, but they're like $1.50 each. And these are in like orchard industries, vineyards, like those kinds of catalogs. I would highly recommend veggie growers use these for putting lines up if you want to go fast. If that's the whole point, it just is so much quicker than bending and tying off things and lets you move on, cross that job off.
Then at the end of the season, what happens?
Well, we can go look at this. This one's halfway done. These were sugar snappies. Oh, my irrigation's off. I hope you all looked. So yeah, if you want to come and take a look at them in action, this is what it looks like. And they're rated for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds of tension. Like there's no issue. And it just goes on so fast. We have elected, we started trellising with these tensioners. And so we've kept them just because I've already invested in it. But if you are setting out a new system or you got a big budget and you like using these gripples, they do have a tool that's essentially like a hammer that you can set the tension you want, and you can just run a wire through the far end, run a wire through this, and use their little tool, and it will just pull it tight using that cartridge, and you'll get your setting. But we end up using fence tensioners. So we've taken down the trellising. No one's favorite job on the farm, taking down the trellising, but it's down. We will throw it away a little bit at a time. We'll take these bins over to where our dumpster is, and we just top the dumpster off with this when, you know, the day before collection. And then these just pop up, no big deal. So we'll gather these because I've got those 6 beds of beans that we're gonna need all of these for in the back. They're post due, so we'll need to get the wire and the trellising all the way up there. And then yeah, this guy, you would just cut the wire here and push it right through and reuse it. What did you want to know about taking stuff down?
You reuse the wire.
You could reuse the wire. We'll probably reuse these 2 lengths. I no longer splice them together. We used to splice the wire to get another year out of it and roll it back up. Check out our roller here. We go for it. This makes the job so fast. And again, that's a priority for us. It's basically like, we think about like hiring somebody who's really good at unrolling wire to just help us on unrolling wire day. Like that's kind of how it goes when you buy a tool like this. You don't need that extra set of hands for the whole season. You just want them to come in and help you on this one job. That's what the tool does. And so we've got this set up so we can grab it with a tractor with the front forks and hold that. And it's very, very, very easy to run the wire down. We used to roll the wire back up, splice it together with a tool, which takes a lot of strength, but does a good job. We just found it very annoying to unroll it. It would catch on the PVC tees. It would catch on the wire as you unspooled it. So we've switched to just using wire for 1 year. So it's a little bit of an expense, but we make up for it because it goes up so fast and it comes down so fast. And then we found that you can take that to community gardens and people always want the wire for their own trellising setups. Yeah. You know, it's like, here's 225 feet of like high tensile strength wire that's been used 1 year. Somebody wants it. So that's our approach. And again, we're prioritizing making it easy for the crew, getting in and out quickly on a job. Yeah. Any questions about that?
I guess this was my other trying to picture this mess.
I know people that try to take the plants off and reuse it. We've elected not to do that. Does anybody reuse this stuff? Good answer. It is so tricky. It's got to be the worst job on the farm to try to pull the pea vines off or the beans off and get a second use out of it. So we've resigned ourselves. If you let it dry, it actually becomes very small. You know, at the end of the day, you just have to give it some time to dry out here. And the whole bit of trellising, the plastic involved is a reel like this, you know, and if you were to squish it down, it's not that much plastic. But so he tells himself before he throws it away, right?
Right. There were actually 2 balls of it sitting right out in the
Yeah.
right where you were all sitting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. You were standing right next to him and didn't notice. It's like if you've thrown away 2 disposable trays, you've thrown away that much plastic. So, should we keep walking?